dancers, this video is especially for my Wayne State Ballet students. As requested, we are putting together a video here to review a lot of the material that we do in class. We like to start with warm-up movements to get the blood flowing. And feel free to play any music that you'd like in the background. We have 4 balancés, 7 and 8 and balancé. And then we do a pas de basque, which is kind of the forward version of that. And then we would walk, walk, passe, side to side. And then we could do some chassés with a circular port de bras. Yeah, da, da, da. Yes, and hopefully the blood's starting to flow. And we like to roll our shoulders. It will help us loosen up our back, shoulder, and neck muscles later for when we need to do turns and spotting. And we can turn our head gently side to side. And then down and up. And feel free to replay or pause any of this at your leisure. That is kind of the benefit of having it on YouTube. We also like to do our turnout exercises. One of them is on the floor. We mimic a first position demi-plie, arms out to the side, and we lift our hips off of the floor, recognizing the hip and thigh muscles that are engaging when we do this exercise. And we found when we do it before class begins, we have very successful bar exercises in addition to feeling on our legs, as we say in the dance world. So when we're balancing in releve or on one leg, it feels really successful and lifted because we warmed up our hip muscles in that way. And then we'd grab something to use as a bar and do some plies. A classic. 2 demi-plies and a grand plie. Remember, sit bones point down to the ground. We'll stretch forward and you can either round up to your cambrai, or we also talked about doing, so the difference between round up, roll up, stacking the bones 1 vertebrae at a time, starting from the lumbar spine. Or you can try a flat back, where you would lengthen out of the crown of your head, make your back as flat as a table on the way up. And then do your cambrai or arch, lift the chest to the sky. Then we change position, second position, heels underneath the hips, 2 demi-plies, knees over the middle of the feet, and grand. Stretch side to side, really lengthen both sides of the torso. Great, let's go to 5th position. 2 demi-plies, demi-half plie, half bend, grand, large plie. Stretch forward, pretend to kiss your knees. Round up or flat back up. Cambrai, and we'll balance in first position releve, and finish. Then you could do the other side. Our Tantrum combination went like this. We worked on our forced arch, peeling the heel off of the floor, being careful not to sickle. Keep the line straight with the shin, a little bit more weight in the big toes instead of the little toes, okay? So we have forced arch 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now remember, if that stretch over the foot is not available to you, that's okay. Just do a full point on the tiptoe. I've done it at least 3 times, so it gets easier the more you do it, I promise. So once again, we have forced arch peel 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, then 2 tendus front. We're thinking about the pinky toe leading us back to first position. Then we'll do the same thing on the side. Forced arch, forcing the foot to arch, 2 tendus side. Same thing back. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and aside. So we have that en croix pattern we talked about in the shape of a cross. Take a releve balance, and then be sure to do the other side. We also did degages from 5th position. We did 2 lengthen with flexed foot, 2 dégages. Pas de cheval, pas de cheval. Let's try it à la seconde. Flex, flex, dégagé, dégagé, pas de cheval, pas de cheval. And back, flex, flex, brush, push the foot with the foot, peel it off, extend. We're lifting up in the hip. Lift, not lean. And we'll balance in susu, over under. Our cue is 1 toe, 2 heels. We see 1 set of toes and 2 sets of heels in the mirror or camera in this case, and finish. Be sure to do the other side. So I wanted to take a moment and go over what type of music you would typically choose for these exercises. I know I do have students that are dance teachers or they're aspiring dance teachers, and I'm here to make your dance dreams come true. That is my purpose. So typically, you can find ballet albums and the whole playlist will be in order of a typical ballet class already for you, because musicians and dancers, they've already collaborated to say, hey, this tempo or this time signature is going to be best for this type of exercise. So try to find those type of playlists. They're very helpful, and sometimes they even label the songs, this is the plie song, this is the tendu song. So typically plies are done in a 3-4 because you want to have that type of flow to it. And also, if you do become a dance teacher where you have live accompaniment, you need to learn how to count in the musician. So you'll notice 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's how you would typically count a plie song. With your tendus, it could be in a 2 or 4. You could have 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Yeah? And dégages would typically have a really lively tempo. So 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 5 and a 6, 7, 8. A rond de jambe combination is usually counted out like this. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. We had tendu fendu devant, sous sous. Please do that en croix. Front side, back side, in the shape of a cross. And then we lowered the heels. We did 4 rond de jambes à terre, circle of the leg on the floor. 3, 4, and then we did en l'air, in the air. And then we can reverse the whole thing. So you go 1 and 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Really, it's developing a lot of strength in that standing leg. Our landmarks now are back, side, front. Be sure to brush through first position in between every rond de jambe. On where we lift, we're mindful of our hip alignment here and our pelvis. Let's take a grand port de corps, reach to the corner. Pretend to kiss your knees. Corner to your chair. Back corner, back, other corner, and upright. Try to choreograph your breathing. We must remember to breathe and take up space. And then we can balance in susu and then a coupe. We've talked about the difference between doing it in front or in back or that wrapped foot. And we do our alignment checks to try to let go and finish. Be sure to do the other side. Hopefully you found some value and joy with the plie, tendu, degage, and rond de jambe combination. I love ballet because it's such active stretch and strengthening. It's been around for hundreds of years and it works with getting the blood flowing and feeling like you've really accomplished something today. It gets you moving, and as we all know, exercise is fantastic for not only your physical well-being, but your emotional and mental well-being as well.